we're really excited to work now. The next version of Windows is coming to make sure that we extend touch in even more dramatic fashion. So Charlotte Pereira is going to come up, since she draws a lot better than I do, and sort of show us some of the cool features coming in FreshPaint and Windows V Next.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlotte Pereira. I was the creative director for FreshPaint, and I'm also an artist, as Eric's mentioned. So I'm really excited to show you what we did for FreshPaint for Windows 8 launch, but I'm also going to show you and give you a preview of what we're creating for Blue. So I have to paint with my right hand, so you're going to have to look at my back. This is the FreshPaint gallery. I'm going to open up a painting from my gallery. Uh-oh.
You have to switch the touch to the other USB device.
It's going to be really hard to paint.
See, people expect touch. People demand touch. Should we move on?
Yeah. Well, you know,
maybe we take a question while we're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll actually throw a question that I got from a reporter this morning who didn't know we were doing this, but was at TechFest yesterday. This is a New York Times reporter getting ready to write something for tomorrow, and asked the question about approach. He said, "Well, you guys seem like you have a very different approach to talking about your research than some of your competitors do. You know, any research that happens in, you know, Apple as an example, never gets talked about at all. You know, Google talks a lot about, you know, some of the stuff. They've got more open, but you really take an academic approach. How do you balance the need to publish, or the desire to publish and to drive things forward, to the demands of keeping some things more quiet because we know they're going to show up in a product?"
Yeah, so that is true. I mean, you know, the right word in the question is the answer. It is balance. You know, MSR, you know, definitely has the charter to push the state of the art, and you know, we hire a very special type of researcher that wants to, you know, push the state of the art, get their stuff, you know, innovated and used by, you know, hundreds of millions of folks, but they also want to push the state of the art in academia. And there's no question, we in general are way more open than many of our competitors, and we share our successes, we share our failures, and you know, sometimes that makes for interesting stories and lots of questions on, you know, hey, you know, how are you? I saw this demo, you know, 3 years ago at TechFest, and it still wasn't productized. And I, you know, honestly, I think that's okay. I mean, I think, you know, so, as some of the you know, other stories we talked to today is you know, we do, you know, core basic research. You're never quite sure how it's going to be applied, and you sort of have to have faith. You know, if you look at a company like HP now that's kind of struggling and cut their R&D budget, I think they may have wished there's some stuff in the factory to draw upon and sort of renew themselves. You know, you think about, you know, the text understanding work that we started with, you know, literally information at your fingertips. I'm not sure we necessarily predicted that it would be key to creating the Bing search engine. But these core investments, you know, over time, and really, you know, the leadership position that MSR has and the respect that it has working with academia and working with our commercial interests is one of balance. I think there's no question that, you know, the company's going to have some more, shall we say, confidential projects. You know, if you think about how many of us really knew Surface was going on while Surface was going on, that may be a smaller number. And in that case, you know, there's still tons of you know, folks in MSR and in Stevie Patish's group that worked on a lot of technology that's in Surface, and so in there, you know, there's probably a less public visible stand to our friends at the New York Times. So there's times that will need to be you know, a little bit more reserved, but I think in general we really do want to share what we're doing and kind of inspire. And you know, a product like TechFest, when you bring in, you know, literally thousands of engineers, you run a little bit of a risk that someone may actually talk about something, or God forbid, tweet or yammer about it.
Yammer's okay. It's the Snapchat that was the absolute.
But you know, I think it's a measured risk, and so it is a sense of balance overall. So should we try FreshPaint again?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay, great.
I think we're back. So FreshPaint was a Premiere app for Windows 8. We launched with oil painting. So I'm going to go into a painting that I started. I've got a bunch of tools. I can paint with oil, pastels, pencils, blenders, and dropper. I've got a bunch of colors that I can choose from, and I can actually mix. In behind, I can go in and find the exact color that I'm looking for as well. So I'm going to go in and start painting. As you can see, even my paint stays wet on, and when I move in, me and this thing have been fighting. Thank God for digital, I can undo. Anyway, you can see that it's mixing as the paint is still wet. So I'm going to go and add a new highlight, but I really want to get this exact color, so I'm just going to use the dropper. And now I can come in, but it's still mixing the color, and I don't want that. So I can go in and speed up time. So now it's dry. For blue, what we're trying to do is add some watercolor, so add a new media. So I'm actually going to go in back to my gallery and find a painting. Let's choose this one. Come on. So this is a painting that I've been working on. And another great thing is that I'm able to do mixed media. So real world, not necessarily would I be painting with oil and watercolor and pencil. So I'm able to sketch. So let's choose a color. I'm going to bring down my brush. And the same with watercolor as oil. It's wet until I decide that I don't want it to be anymore. And I can come in and paint. And what I'm getting is real-time absorption and dispersion into the paper. Increase the brush, and I'll add another color, and you can watch it.
Oh, wow.
I can also go back to oil, which I was kind of talking about before, and even start painting with oil. I don't know, crazy colored hair or something, and go back in and paint oil over top. Something that we found with everyone was that they were really afraid of a blank canvas. It was really daunting. Like, I'm not an artist. I can't create. So something else that we enabled is the ability to bring in an image from anywhere. So I'm going to change my surface, go back to tools, and go into watercolor. So I can bring in an image. So let's say I want to bring in an image from Bing. Select it and open. Now I have brought in a watercolor. So I can pretend that I painted this. Look at me go. But now I can maybe even go grab, I don't know, this color. Make sure I have a good brush. And then maybe paint in a sun. So this is wet. So I can go in and manipulate it as much as I want. I'm going to dry it and sign it over the Bing. So we're super excited about this for blue. I think it's adding a lot of value and just giving some creativity to what we can do with our surface.
Thanks, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Good.